Here we go, Friday, November 25th. Jeff Harrington, joined by Jaclyn Whittal.
Yeah, nice to be here. You were saying off air a month before Christmas.
Can you believe it?
No, I can't. Because it's been so mild in Ontario where our headquarters are, it didn't feel like it was supposed to transition to Christmas season, and now my tree's up, and here we go.
And wait for it next week, Jaclyn. Temperatures in the double digits into parts of Ontario. We are tracking a nor'easter for the East Coast.
We sure are. We're also talking about the Grey Cup. If you're a football fan, we're going to have Chris Murphy there most of the weekend. It's going to be exciting, lots going on. And then mild temperatures, as you mentioned, returning next week. It's going to be really warm.
Can't wait to share those details with you. Jaclyn, let's take a live look at Halifax, see what's going on down at the airport there.
Yeah, not too bad at all. A little bit of cloudy conditions. It is. It doesn't really look like Toronto, Jeff. We're actually looking at a lot of foggy conditions out there. In fact, the CN Tower is there. Maybe can we take that full screen just to share that with the viewers? It is incredible. I don't know if we can, but it is really, it's hard to see much of anything in there, but 'tis the season.
To see the city there. So let's check out our fog tracker, as we call it. And last time I checked, it started to dissipate a bit from the GTA.
Yeah, that's right. We also had fog advisories for the prairies this morning. That has been lifted too. But yeah, it is getting a little bit better, but imagine the drive-in is going to be slow. I know mine was this morning at around 3. Take your time out there. It is a Friday. We've got lots of traffic in town, probably for the Grey Cup as well.
Yeah, for sure. So full headlights on, and if your car has them, the fog lamps, good bet as well. Okay, Jaclyn, we got a question of the day. What kind of weather do you wish for the Grey Cup?
Yeah, we want to hear from you. Calm. Have you ever seen a football game like in the stands where there's been snow?
That's the best one.
There you go. Okay, so we know Jeff's answer.
I think so. Here's the forecast for the Grey Cup coming up on Sunday at BMO Field. Not going to have the snow, not going to have the wind. Actually, pretty calm conditions, Jaclyn.
Yeah, it'll make for a really good game. Of course, lots of fans in town. And then also, I want to just talk a little bit about next week, because the pattern really going to be taking a shift to, I guess, on the positive side of the Mercury. We are looking at a big warm-up. In fact, maybe even teens, double digits or teens.
Okay, so Jaclyn, coming up in just a bit.
All right, good morning. I'm Jaclyn Whittal, and I'm filling in for Chris Murphy, who, by the way, has a very important job, Jeff Harrington with me. He's at the Grey Cup. He's at the Fan Fest today. He's going to be there all weekend. Super exciting.
It's a big one for Murph. He loves this sort of stuff, so we'll check in with him.
Yes.
Weather-wise, Jaclyn, the West Coast got hammered with that rain throughout the night and the wind, but it's now going to start to taper off. It will
ease, exactly. We've got a lot of mountain snow to still talk about, and some rough driving through some of the passes. We'll get there this morning. And then looking at a nor'easter, that's another top story over the weekend for you folks in the east, but it's time for Share Your Weather. This is a pretty cool shot right here.
Okay, so we're in Nova Scotia for this one, Jaclyn, right?
Yes, it is, and that's Andrew Frennett. Hopefully I have that right. Absolutely gorgeous. A little bit of low-lying cloud there, reflection in the water. A little bit of fog out there this morning, by the way, through the prairies. The fog advisories have been lifted, but Ontario is still looking a little foggy. Yeah,
so of course we'll continue to track that out. Jaclyn, we've got a question for everyone. What kind of weather do you wish for the Grey Cup? This one's interesting.
It is. Okay, so A, calm and mild, or do you want the rain? You can choose B, or C, your football includes snow. What about you, Jeff?
I'm the snow, because I think that's classic Canadian
sports. All right, fair enough. Okay, let's take a look here at, let's go to the forecast here. There we go. All right, we have Grey Cup, Calgary versus Ottawa, 3 kickoffs, so a little bit cool, but nice. It's going to be dry, Jeff.
Okay, want to send it over to Michael Pinball Clemens and Chris Murphy with how the weather can impact the game.
All right, interesting stuff. You know, how weather is tied in with sports so much. You don't think about it, but it really is. It can affect so many little details. Okay, speaking of our weather, 4 degrees for Toronto on Sunday. This is just the beginning of a big-time warm-up, Jeff.
And just in time for the start of December, Jaclyn.
All right, still lots on the way. We're going to talk a little bit about this story.
Well, happy Friday to you, November the 25th. Jeff Harrington, joined by Rachel Schoutsen. Good morning.
November 25th. That means 1 month exactly until Christmas morning.
It doesn't feel like it, but it is certainly coming pretty quickly.
Oh, it is.
Rachel, here's some of the conditions that folks are waking up to on this Friday morning.
Exactly. 0 degrees right now in Montreal. It's 4 in Toronto. Eaton Centre opens early this morning. Square One as well for some Black Friday shopping.
Oh, yeah.
But if you are headed out on the roads, some drizzle and some fog to watch out for.
Okay, let's let's check out the fog tracker to see where some of that fog is. You know, Rachel, looking at this map over the last little while, it looks like the fog is starting to dissipate from the GTA, but the further east you go along the 401 toward Coburg.
Exactly. We're still seeing some of these dodgy conditions, some low visibility out there. Now, Kevin Yard would be able to tell us best as he is out on the ground in Toronto this morning. Good morning, Kevin. Looks like he may not be able to hear us. Just a couple minutes.
Wow. Get some of those Christmas gifts early, I guess.
Yeah.
Rachel, here's what's on our radar for next week. It's not going to feel like Christmas is coming into some parts.
I know. A few people tweeted me and said, hey, I got my winter tires on, and now you're talking double digits into next week. This is a transitional period of our weather, and this is what we see. We see these big swings. So, yeah, we're talking snow this week, and then next week, this Colorado low comes in. We'll be in that warm sector, and, yeah, double digits across southern Ontario.
And then behind it, look at the prairies becoming cooler. I want to show you a snapshot of some of these temperatures. So here it is on Tuesday. Oh, yeah, there's some of those double digits, Rachel.
Pretty
look at
impressive. 13 in Windsor, 11 in Toronto. Now, on Tuesday, we're seeing this warmth, yes, but we're also seeing the rain on this day, too. We'll still hold on to that warmer air for Wednesday and should be clearing out. But I know this weekend, we're talking a lot of snow for the east.
Yeah, so we'll be tracking that nor'easter. Still a bit too soon to say exactly where we'll see that bullseye of snow, but no doubt something that we are going to be tracking carefully. And look at that Wednesday. The last day of November, double digits.
Wow, it's pretty impressive. Okay, just ahead, we're going to take a look at Force of Nature and then around the world. Look at this here, snow dance. Pretty impressive stuff, eh? This is taking place in Winnipeg, a little dance to bring on the snow. And that is just ahead after your local forecast.
Jeff Harrington filling in for Nicole. It's a Friday. Where is everybody?
Everyone's taking a little vacation time. Maybe Nicole's doing a little Black Friday shopping.
Maybe, but I'll tell you where Chris Murphy is where he wants to be, and that is at the Grey Cup Fan Fest. We're going to talk to him in just a second.
Okay, so Jaclyn, some of the weather makers are tracking a nor'easter on the East Coast. We'll talk about maybe some significant snow on the way.
Yeah, you bet, and some rain as well. We'll be live from the Grey Cup through the weekend, and then mild temperatures return next week. Big time, maybe even teens for southern Ontario.
Okay, let's first go out east. Jaclyn, a live shot of St. John's right now.
Absolutely gorgeous shot, in fact, Jeff. Yeah, we're looking at some cloudy conditions because you can't really see it. But yes, it is in there. It's going to be a little bit foggy actually through your drive in today, but you know, it will start to ease as we get into the day. Later on, we might actually get some sunshine, but let's bring in Chris Murphy. This is so exciting. He is at the Fan Fest, and Murph, we would love to hear how excited you are, because I know you are. That's right, Murph. Okay, we'll be live with the Grey Cup all weekend long, so stay with us here at the Weather Network.
Well, it's great to have you along with us this morning. A very good morning to you. It is November 25th today. That means 1 month till Christmas morning.
Unbelievable. I'm not feeling it from a lot of people. I'm not seeing a lot of Christmas decorations. I don't know why.
I know. Well, you know what? I did tune my radio station in the car to be on that Christmas Carol station. So I got that coming on every once in a while. Yesterday in Orangeville, we got a decent amount of snow. Today being Black Friday, we're getting into it,
We're
Jeff.
getting there. We're getting there. You wouldn't know by the temperatures. Look, we're above freezing right now. 4 in Toronto. Cloud cover, though we had some of that fog, and it's we're certainly tracking it right now.
Exactly. The fog really dissipating for western portions of the GTA where it was quite thick a few hours ago, but now moving further to the east. So along that 401 corridor out to Kingston, we are looking at some low visibility along this route.
Okay, I think we have Mark Robinson standing by. He is fog chasing for us this morning. Good morning to you, Mark. All right, Mark, we are certainly waiting for some of those snowstorms to get in the Christmas spirit.
I think so, but for winter drivers, I don't know. I am not a big fan of that at all. So, Mark, well, let's not talk about that just yet.
Yeah, we'll forget about that. Okay, we are, Rachel, tracking a nor'easter for the East Coast, which could give us some significant swaths of snow.
Exactly, and Halifax is really on the cusp of that. Are you going to see snow? Are you going to see the rain? Right now, it looks like Halifax DHRM getting into some rain, but a few models still pinpointing that some mixing could happen in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, so certainly we'll stay on top of that story for you. Another story for us, Rachel, is we're on the warm side of this Colorado low.
Well, a little closer to the date. Looks like Tuesday now we'll be into that wet weather.
Yeah, and here's some of the temperatures on Tuesday, Rachel. 13 for Windsor.
Pretty impressive. Okay, just ahead in Force of Nature.
All right, good to see you on this Friday. Jeff Harrington joined by Jaclyn Whittal.
Yeah, we're in for Nicole and Chris Murphy is going to join us momentarily. He's at the Grey Cup Fan Fest, and I think you're going to have to pull him off the ceiling because he's pretty excited about this weekend. Also, what we're talking about is a nor'easter for you in Atlantic Canada. It is going to get wild. We're going to see rain, wind, snow, the whole bit.
Yeah, so we'll break that down, and mild temperatures return next week. Jaclyn, we're coming up to December.
I know.
And we'll see if we can get those temperatures in the double digits into parts of Ontario.
Yeah, you bet. It's hard to get the Christmas spirit, right, when it's really
True.
mild. So, I mean, my tree's up, and it's incredible, actually, Jeff. You can't even see the CN Tower, which is off to the left there, but somewhere it is there, trust us. Okay, let's go live downtown Toronto. We are talking about CFL Fan Fest. Chris Murphy, I can't see you there. It's probably because you're jumping up and down so high because you're so excited that I can't see you. Right, and you know what? I bet that's easier when you have daylight. He can't see what he's doing, right? So let's throw him a bone there.
Murph is loving his assignment today.
He
Okay,
is.
we want to know what kind of weather do you wish for at the Grey Cup, Jaclyn?
Yeah, do you like calm and mild conditions? I know that would be my choice. How about the rain? Or what about snow? Do you like your football including snow, whether you're a fan or playing football? We'd love to hear from you. We'll share those results coming up.
And here is that all-important forecast for Sunday, of course. The first time played outdoors in Toronto in decades, and it's looking calm.
It is about 3 degrees for kickoff. 35,000 people expected at BMO Field. It is going to be a big game. So if you're looking for the warmth, though, we're going to be seeing some very warm temperatures coming up next week. We'll talk about that. All right, good morning. It is a Friday. We've made it to another weekend, and we have lots to talk about, including a couple storms. On the West Coast, things looking a little better, Jeff.
Yeah, yesterday, of course, we had those heavy bouts of rain, also wind, an issue. Good news, some of the snow warnings for the mountain passes have been dropped.
That's right. Now, still rough travel if you're trying to get around over the weekend to get to do some skiing. You're going to have to slow it down on some of those major passes. Okay, then we're talking about a messy system for Atlantic Canada, Jeff.
Yeah, so this is a nor'easter. Checking in on some of those snowfall totals. Edmundston, the northwest corner of New Brunswick, could see 10 centimeters, but we're still tweaking those numbers.
We are, so we'll keep you posted on that. Let's start Share Your Weather. Hey,
I don't
it's
know
true.
if I believe you.
It's a true story by next week. Anyway, Brookdale, Nova Scotia. This is from Andrew Frennett. Beautiful shot, isn't it?
Yeah, look at that. We even got, is that some fog? I can't tell.
I think it's either some fog or some low-lying cloud, but either way, it is a very beautiful shot. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about the poll. Our poll question today, of course, is all CFL related.
And
Grey Cup.
exactly, and it's got to be weather related. What kind of weather do you wish for the Grey Cup? So we'll chat more about this, but I want to send it over to Michael Pinball Clemens and Chris Murphy talking about how the weather can impact play.
And think about it, I've never played football, but if you're, tossing the ball into a real strong headwind, you need to know those details. It can certainly affect the game.
Yeah, and the outcome, this is a Grey Cup, the championship game,
Big
so
time.
all of those details are important. But Jaclyn, looking like we got some calm weather for the big one.
Yeah, 3 degrees at kickoff, about 2 with some cloudy conditions. It's going to be really nice. Sunday's the best day of the weekend. Temperature trend right across the northeast looks like this.
Okay, Sunday, 4 degrees in Toronto, but we'll bump up those temperatures by the start of next week.
All right.
It's Friday. The weekend is almost here. We've got the details that you need to know to start the weekend. Jeff Harrington, Rachel Schoutsen here with you on this Friday.
And can you believe it? In 1 month this morning, it will be Christmas morning.
Yikes.
I know.
Wow. Some of the weather in the country reflecting that. We're watching a nor'easter for the East Coast, so some snow, but not so for parts of Ontario, Rachel. Those details ahead.
Exactly. We're looking at this morning, 4 degrees in Toronto. People are already out. They're lined up on the streets. We're talking Boxing Day shopping. Kevin Yard is on the scene. And then, of course, Grey Cup. That's a big event happening this weekend, too.
Yeah, so let's go live to Chris Murphy right now. I think he's showing off some hardware. Good morning, Chris. That's going to catch around here, I think so.
It's going to stick. It's going to stick. Okay, this also sticking with us, too. The warm-up in temperatures. Yeah, I know we're thinking about it already into next week, the double digits return.
Yeah, so the start of next week, we'll start to see that seasonal gradual warming. It's by midweek, we'll call it. So Tuesday, here's a glimpse at those temperatures. Keep an eye on Ontario. We'll show you Wednesday as well.
Exactly, 11 degrees for Toronto. That's going to be pretty warm, but remember, this is going to be with some rain. And then when you compare the temperatures out to the east, you can see just the 3s, the 4s, the 5s. So this is really a warm-up now as we get closer to the first days of December.
Unbelievable. So yeah, here's the forecast on Wednesday, last day of November. We'll squeeze out another double-digit day into parts of Ontario, and certainly cool toward the east. We are tracking that nor'easter, and we had snow just north of Toronto the other day, Rachel, in Orangeville.
Exactly. Here's the scene in Orangeville. Stay with us. Kevin and Mark are looking for some Black Friday deals. That's just ahead.
Okay, coming up in just a bit, of course, your local forecast. And then this, I think we're calling it, what, the flurry shuffle?
Yeah, the flurry shuffle.
Okay.
The snowy shuffle. It looks pretty good. We'll have more videos just like this awesome one just ahead in Around the World with Kim McDonald.
Happy Friday. I'm Jaclyn Whittal, filling in for Chris Murphy, and you are Jeff Harrington, filling in for Nicole Karkic.
Yeah, happy Friday.
Flipping it up, right?
That's what we do on a Friday around here. Good morning, everyone. Jaclyn, here's our developing stories, tracking a nor'easter.
We sure are. Yeah, we're going to see some rain, we're going to see some wind, some snow. All of the things we really haven't seen yet this season for the East Coast.
True.
Live from the Grey Cup, Chris Murphy's there. He is so excited. We'll bring you the latest from him. And then a warm-up.
We're calling him Murph on the turf.
I love it. Yes, Murph on the turf. You know we're going to be like saying that in the newsroom all the time now to him.
It's going to stick. Jaclyn, first, so live look.
Rain for probably St. John's.
Okay, here's, well, actually, there he is.
There he is.
There's Murph on the turf. Good morning.
Okay.
Okay.
We're having a little bit of trouble hearing Murph, so we're going to come back to Murph on the turf. Yeah, I think we've kind of lost his audio.
I think it was on, and then he turned it off.
You know, probably what happened is he's been so excited, he's probably just been screaming because it's CFL Grey Cup time. He's like one of the biggest CFL fans.
Huge fan.
You know, I think in all of Ontario. True story.
Huge
so we'll
fan.
come back to Murph on the turf coming up. All right, so what else do we have going on? Well, let's take a look at our special weather statement in place for that nor'easter, Jeff.
Yeah, so rain and snow certainly in the forecast.
Only about a centimeter and kind of mixed precipitation. That's how this storm might roll.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to see where we're going to get the warmest air and the coldest air, where that snow line's going to be. All right, looks like we got that audio issue fixed with Murph on the turf. Good morning to you.
This is your Weather Wake Up on the Weather Network, brought to you by McCafe. A very good morning to you. Rachel Schoutsen, joined by Jeff Harrington. And Jeff, we'll take a look at some current conditions this morning.
Here we go, your Friday temperatures. You know, the weekend's not too far away.
To move a little further to the east, we go to our fog tracker. Sounds a little more dramatic than it is. But yeah, we are taking a look at that fog really east of the GTA along the 401 out to Cobourg. But also some low-level moisture still lingers over Toronto.
Okay, want to take you out live to our meteorologist, storm hunter, Mark Robinson. Mark, what's going on this Friday?
I think it's cool, okay, but why not just wait till Cyber Monday? You can do all that shopping right from your couch. It's just around the corner.
Click away, and you got it. Okay, our weather, let's break this down. You know, I was checking the Weather Network app. Edmonton looking like 10 centimeters of snow with this nor'easter, but, you know, we're still tweaking those numbers, Rachel.
Exactly, and even for a place like Halifax, right now it looks mainly rain, but some portions of Nova Scotia could see some snow with this system.
Yep.
So strong winds, heavy precipitation, that's going to be your story into this weekend.
Different story for Ontario.
Exactly, so that cooler pool of air, that starts to influence your forecast, where this Colorado low actually brings up temperatures for the Great Lakes.
Okay, so let's look at some of those temperatures. Monday, yep, some double digits on Tuesday as well.
All right, just ahead in Force of Nature. Well,
it's a Friday, and not just any Friday, Grey Cup weekend. So Chris Murphy is out in the field. That's why I'm in studio. I'm Jaclyn Whittal. Jeff Harrington, how excited is Chris out there in the field?
Chris, I don't think I've ever seen him like this. I know he said this has been a career highlight for him, being able to cover the Grey Cup here in Toronto. Even got the nickname Murph on the turf. That's going to stick.
That's going to be one of our headlines next week. Murph on the turf. Okay, so nor'easter on the way. That's what we're talking about. We'll be live right through the weekend at the Grey Cup, and mild temperatures on the way, but it's a little bit chilly out there this morning. We could tell you about it, or we could just check in with Murph on the turf. Yeah, we will do so. Murph, good morning to you. Yes, I think it's finally kind of clearing up, but that webcam that almost looks like, well, it's almost looking like some sun, some sun, no snow. Want to remind everybody that you could see changing conditions, right? It could be rain, could be kind of a sloppy snow, could be wet snow, could be accumulating snow, so heads up there.
Okay, so we'd love to hear from you on this one, Jaclyn. What kind of weather do you wish for, do you hope for with the Grey Cup?
Like if it's me out in the stands, I'm going to say calm and mild for sure. We'd love to hear what your opinion is. Do you want the rain, or do you even want snow? Are you that kind of fan?
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah.
And if it was Edmonton, maybe more apropos, but it's Calgary. Jaclyn, must-see video. All right, happy Friday. Let's dive into your Weather Watch details. Jeff Harrington, joined by Rachel Schoutsen. We got your weather wake up.
We do, and we are looking at some cooler conditions this morning, about 4 degrees in Toronto. You don't need the gloves, though, so maybe actually a little more mild than what we had been experiencing. But we're 0 in Montreal, where it's cool. And look at this fog over the Gardiner, Jeff.
Let's take the live shot fog.
Exactly. So we are seeing that move further to the east, move east of the GTA. But as we look at a shot like that, that camera is at a bit of a higher elevation.
Right.
So that is really picking up some of that low-level moisture in the atmosphere. So if you're right down at the surface, like Mark Robinson, well, we still have a clear shot of you, Mark, but that cloud, it's pretty thick this morning.
Oh, he's just fueled by adrenaline.
He is. And you know what? We do have some storms on the way. Another Colorado low.
Okay, but on the warm pocket of things for a big chunk of Ontario, so mild air ahead of this disturbance, really going to ramp up those temperatures.
Exactly. We're going to talk double digits by the time we see next week. This is a snapshot of Tuesday here, and you can see just how cool the east is.
As we look toward the north, Timmins at 1 degree. We'll check out this Colorado low because it has certainly been messy toward the northwest in Thunder Bay, for example.
Exactly. Now, as we look ahead at Wednesday, we are going to be seeing temperatures still staying into the double digits. To the east, you're still a little bit cooler. And this weekend, Jeff, we're really talking a decent amount of snow for the Maritimes.
Yeah, with this nor'easter, checking on some of those totals. At this point, we're thinking 10 centimeters for Edmundston. But of course, we're still working on these numbers and tweaking them.
All right, so maybe you don't want to be doing the snow dance here like these girls. Oh, Jeff, you got some moves going on?
I was going to try.
In Winnipeg. We will be taking a look at Around the World with Kim McDonald next.
Well, good morning. I'm meteorologist Jaclyn Whittal, filling in for Chris Murphy, and you're filling in, Jeff Harrington, for Nicole.
Yeah, happy Friday to everyone. Here are some of the big stories that we're working on for this Friday, Jaclyn. And we got a nor'easter on our radar.
We do, that's true. And it's really the first big storm for the East Coast that they've seen yet this fall season.
Right.
We'll also talk about Grey Cups. Chris Murphy is standing by. He has a new name. We'll tell you that in a minute. And then mild temperatures for next week, Jeff.
Okay, is Murph waiting to catch up with us right now? I know he's got the umbrella. Okay, Chris, let's bring you live into this conversation.
What are you calling him?
Murph on the turf.
Murph on the turf. That fog, you know, you could see Murphy there with his umbrella, though, getting a bit of light rain. And that's what you could see over the weekend, Jeff. You could see changing conditions. If you're on your way up to the cottage, if you're in Ontario, know that you could see some wet snow, especially in the higher terrain like the Grey Highlands. Lots to talk about today.
There is a potential for our lake effect machine to start running again, but we're not seeing major accumulation at this point.
No, and we're not seeing it for the Grey Cup, which is fantastic. It's been great conditions, around 2 or 3 degrees. So we want to hear from you. If you could paint the best weather picture for the Grey Cup, would it be calm and mild, or bring the rain on, or how about snow? You said you'd like a game with snow?
The snow, I think, would be a good bet. It's classic. It's Canadian. I think that's what makes the game interesting.
Okay, very good. All right, well, let's bring you to the kickoff temperature, and then we will talk a little bit more about this wildfire story when we come back.